Everything you see on screen is nothing but an illusion. Nothing's ever quite as it seems, it's nothing but an illusion. Sugar, 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 sugar. Hello out there in YouTube Landia. Well, today's video is about, wow, are you a sexy cougar? Well, I don't know really. I think they say if you're 8 years older or 9 or 10, I don't know what's the age limit to cougarism, but or cougarness or cougality. I don't know. I'm making shit up. Okay, so if you I don't know what's the age limit to putting you as a cougar to saying okay you're a cougar because you have to be 8 years older than him or 7 years older than him or whatever. Well, I think I'm nearly 9 years older than my fiance, which he's always saying 8, but I think it's 9, and I'm pretty bad at math. But because of that, I consider myself a sexy hot cougar. More like an Eartha Kitt Batman. Well, something like it. Whatever. And I just want to talk about it. I got lipstick on, no makeup. I got an allergy, so we're gonna have to deal with this. But on the whole, I don't wear makeup every day. Not in my house. I live on an island, and I usually go barefaced, no makeup. Honey loves me the way I am, so yay! And if he didn't, he would be like, boop, bye, see ya. But I guess I just want to talk about being a cougar because I think that I don't know if I'm a cougar. I don't know. But I know that he's significantly younger than me. And then in his head, he's significantly older than me. And he's like an old man. And because of that, he has a lot of grays on his hair. And he looks like a Fu Manchu because he looks very Asian. And he has a little bit of mustache. And he could do karate and martial arts. And he takes care of the land. He can climb really high into the trees. And he does remarkable things with his body. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But he really does because he can climb up trees like a little monkey, and he has a 6-pack or a 12-pack or whatever. Because I think it's a 12-pack because he's muscular all over. And I always think, he makes me feel so sexy, like I'm a little gay boy. Because if I got any more sexy, I think I'd be talking like this, hey girl, and I would be like that. But yeah. And no, we have our problems. Trust, we have our problems because I'm so much older than him, but then I'm so much more childlike. I wouldn't say childish, but I would say childlike, and that gets you in a lot of trouble. Then I'm like Lucy, and he's like Lucy, and then I'm like getting in trouble with him, and he expects me to be acting my age, whatever the fuck that means, He doesn't say that, but other people, would say that. They would say that. Well, you're supposed to act your age, but I don't know who says that, but I know people say things like that all the time to other people, not to me, because I'm like over there with it. I know who I am for the most part. Like I'm not the type of person to make excuses or apologies for being anything. I make videos about hair and be yourself, and I notice that it's sad to me. If you see me itching because I live on an island. Mosquitoes. But I think it's sad, like, back to the topic. I think it's sad. Well, the topic is really actually being a cougar. But I want to talk about this too because I think it's sad when women they have self-hatred or they want to straighten their hair and they don't realize they're putting line in their hair and they're damaging their hair and chemicals and stuff. And then I talk about this and you see a lot of women, they don't agree with it. I don't apologize for myself. Like, I don't straighten my hair. I don't, I put on lipstick and I'll paint my nails. And I'll do stupid little girly things like that because I'm a girly girl, number one. Number two, I like it for La Zizi. But if I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. I like to have straight hair too. I like to straighten my hair once every, 10 years. But, for me, so I can see myself in a different way. But to do something to yourself all the time, for other people, because other people tell you, hey, you know what, you're going to be so pretty if you do this. And it's like, yeah, you know what, fuck out of here, Pretty to who? You? That's nice, I believe you will meet the man of your dreams. And if you just be yourself and let somebody love you the way you are and be authentic. But what I wanted to say about being a cougar is you might be older than the person, but you might feel like you're so much younger than the person. I mean, one time I was in the mall, right? This is a story. This is a true story. One time in the mall with Honey. Because that's what I call my man, when I'm talking about him. One day I'm in the store with Honey, and all of a sudden, this old man, because I live on an island, everybody speaks Spanish. This old man goes, oh, in Spanish he tells him, oh, you looking for your daughter? She went that way. And he was like, oh, that's not my daughter. But he thinks since I don't understand Spanish that well, that I don't understand anything but big fail, epic fail. I grew up in a Spanish-speaking household where everybody speaks Spanish except for the kids. But so I picked it up enough to understand, what they're saying. So I went over there and I asked him, oh, so, what did he say? And he said, oh, no, nothing. He just was like, I said, no, I know what he said. He told you where your daughter went that way. So, he thought I was young enough to be your daughter. And he was like, no, he must be drunk. He must need glasses. But he, it was so funny because my fiance has a really beautiful, beautiful body. He does. But, he has a lot of grays in his hair. And he carries himself a certain way, very strict, very stiff and stuff. Very Bruce Lee posture. And he walks around like that, and it's hilarious because, I'm the little girl here, okay? Yeah, that's right. 40 and fabulous. He's only actually, today's his birthday. He just turned 32. Boom, happy birthday, baby. But I'm 40 and fabulous. Yeah. You want to be a cougar? You a cougar? That's what they call it? That's what they calling you? That's what you feel like you are? Don't let them put a time limit on your sexiness, and don't let them put a brand across your head telling you what you are. You're a sexy woman, and you live your life as you see fit, and make love to the people you feel like making love to, because life is for you to enjoy. And with me personally, I make love only to my fiance because we have a very exclusive one-on-one relationship, and we keep it simple that way. We think making love, being together in a unity is like a very spiritual bond, and we think it towards that way. Like there's no swinging or there's none of that shit, because I don't get down with that, and neither does he, which is fantastic. Because of that, we have this really good tight union. And it works for us, but some of you out there like to have multiple lovers, and that's fabulous and fantastic. But, but that's you, and enjoy it. I'm just here to say, if you think you're a cougar, just be a damn good one, because that's all you can do. Be happy with you. Mwah. Thanks for watching my show. Bye.